What up, everyone, and welcome to the Social Room, where strategic networking meets insightful business conversations. I'm your host, Aiden Snell, and this show is designed to connect you with business leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs who are not only crushing it and making waves within their industries, but who might also just share the game that can take you to the next level. In each episode, we'll explore the stories of these business owners and how they're impacting lives. Who knows? You might just find your next big opportunity right here on this episode. So sit back, tune in, and let's get social. All right, guys. Today we are joined by the one and only Shane Farrell, founder of Known For. Shane, how you doing today, my man?
Blessed, man. Blessed. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, bro. Thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Shane. Where are you from? What are you passionate about?
Yeah, I'd love to. So originally I'm from San Francisco, California. I grew up there my whole life, really. And that's really where everything started, right? So what I do now is I do entertainment. How I get into entertainment, I grew up playing drums my whole life. So I grew up in about third grade. I taught myself how to play my drums. Shout out Grandma. She bought me my first drum set. From there, it was really just like all music my whole childhood, right? I was in my own band with my brother, so we did our own shows. We toured around California. I was in jazz band at school, Latin band, marching band. So it was really all music pretty much my whole childhood. Did that all the way up until I was like 18. When I got to 18, I wanted to kind of be more of a business guy. I've always loved business and I wanted to own my own business. So I moved to LA, started my own talent management agency. Did that for about 3 to 4 years. Had some good success. At first I was just managing anyone from regular models, videographers, anyone I could get my hands on, to be honest, anyone that would accept me as a manager. And then once I had some good success with that, moved out to Miami about 2 years ago. Been here, about 2 years now. And now, we have our company Known For. So excited, man. Crushed.
Let's go. That's awesome, Shane. Well, again, bro, thanks for joining us on the show. That's amazing, like quick journey, quick story of your journey. I love the drums myself, bro. Huge percussion guy. I used to be in school with my 2 pencils, like making beats all day long. That was me. So the way I like to start these off, Shane, is asking you, getting into the Power 5 segment, right? And the Power 5, I'm just going to ask you 5 power questions. You're going to give me your best answers. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
Awesome, man. Shane, what's been the most valuable lesson you've learned from failure, bro?
Most valuable lesson? It's all about perspective, really. I mean, even when you fail, ultimately at the end of the day, it's still something good's coming out of that. Whether you're failing in your business or failing in your relationship or failing whatever you're trying to do, or just, a new goal, there's always a positive side about that. I always like to say, like, don't look for the sun when it's raining, just enjoy the rain, enjoy it for what it is. And, take what's there and use that moving forward. But don't, like I said, it's all about perspective. If something bad happens to you and you look at it one-sided, then, that's the end of it. And it's always going to be a failure and not like, a lesson learned type situation. So perspective, really.
Yeah, that's good, man. I love that. Awesome. I love the saying, don't look for the sun while it's raining. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's true.
If you had to start over, what's the first thing you would do differently in life?
I had to start over, like, that's my whole life or my business life? Just a quick
whatever it means to you. You can tell me both if you want.
I mean, I wouldn't start my whole life over. I got no regrets. I love the path I'm on, but my business journey, I would definitely work on building out like the foundation and really starting to figure out how to delegate those tasks earlier, because it's good to do everything, but you can only a couple of people only have so much capacity in their brain and how much you're able to work and complete, right? So being able to delegate and finding those people that you can delegate and trust is most important, because I think we've all hired people and fired people. So the value of finding that one good person that you can trust and delegate a lot of your tasks to is really the difference maker.
I love that. That's good. What's the best investment you've made in your business?
Myself, 100%. Traveling, going to events, spending money on flights, hotels, traveling. Like I said, we just meet people, really. Like, at the end of the day, marketing is great and stuff, but there's no better marketing than just face-to-face talking to someone. That's always going to have the highest chance of closing, no matter what you're offering or what product, service. Definitely just going out there and meeting people. And usually if you meet one person, you're going to end up meeting 20 people just through that one person, right? So you look at it like that, you meet 20 people, you're going to meet 2,000 people. So it's all numbers game, really. I would just say 100% invest in yourself, go out there, travel, meet people, buy some nice clothes. If you want to make yourself feel good and get more confidence, do what you got to do.
Let's go. I love it, Shane. Last question for you. Or I'm sorry, two more. If you could master one skill, what would it be and why?
One skill, and what would it be? That's a hard one. There's a lot of skills I would love to master, to be honest. Um, Definitely the art of sales, right? I think if I could be a master at sales and be able to talk my way out in any situation and be able to, you know, I always think this one guy, I forget his name, he would go to like hotels and stuff, and he would like just he didn't pay for like any hotels for like his whole life, like 30 years, because he would always just go to the front desk and like he was so good at sales, he would talk his way into getting free rooms everywhere he went. So like just stuff like that, like the art of sales. I mean, like I said, everything sells. Whether you're selling, like I said, your personal brand, your product, service, or you want to get if you're negotiating, something at the flea market, whatever it may be, it's definitely all sales. So that's one of the top skills I can think of.
So good. Last question for you. What's your proudest moment in business so far?
Proudest moment in business so far. There's been a lot of them, to be honest. I would definitely say some of like our bigger events that we've done, where we have like 4,000 people come, and just seeing all that come together, and seeing a big community of people supporting you is definitely surreal. It reminds me of when I used to play drums growing up too, and we do a lot of these shows. And when I'm on stage and I'm looking out to the crowd and I see all these people like watching, like it's a cool feeling. It definitely gives you that more confidence and more drive to want to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Nice, man. I love that. That's amazing. That definitely sounds like an amazing moment. Um, Dude, you crushed it. I think you left a
Those
lot
some
of
good
value on
questions.
the table. Sorry?
See, those are some good questions.
Yeah, you like them? Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
power five right there, man. You crushed it though. I think you left a lot of value on the table there that for the audience to pick up. So Shane, I'd love to dive a little bit more into Known For, right? Your company. Tell me how Known For came about, right? How did you start this up? You said it was about 2 years ago. You started it up, yeah?
Yeah, about
Nice.
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
I'd love to hear about like that journey of like really starting it up, like getting it going, and how'd you come up with that name?
Yeah, 100%. So let's see. We honestly, the name part, I didn't come up with the name. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that was my business partner, if I do remember correctly. But the company
Okay.
started about 2 years ago. It was me and my partner TJ, and we were working with some other clients, just like marketing stuff, and we just had a lot of inquiries. Right, people, a lot more clients wanting our help and support. So we just realized that we needed to like build out a foundation and a system to really, like I said, handle the capacity of all these clients. So for the first like year, I mean, we really just building out the basics, getting your business, funded, founded, all the paperwork you got to do, getting the back end set up, and then we were really ready to launch. So that's when we started getting a lot of new clients, and accepting these new people. So yeah, I mean, like I said, about 2 years ago, we were just like, we need more. We need more bandwidth, right? Like I said, we need to be able to take care of more people that are asking us for help. So that's kind of really how it all started.
Nice. I love that. So tell me
Known for
specifically,
what? Go ahead.
what'd you say?
I would say the name known for though, I want to say it was like a mix of us. Honestly, I know I did come up with a logo, so I'll take credit for that.
Okay, okay. The logo's fire. I like the logo. It's clean. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, it's a good name. I like it. Known For. Tell me about specifically, Shane, like the people that you help, right? Within Known For. What is
Yeah, so
that?
I
What is
mean,
that audience?
we got two sides of the business, right? So we have like the front facing side, which is a lot of our talent relations. So people like Lanta, right, and these athletes. We manage a lot of people on Snapchat. We do a lot of like brand deals for certain artists, celebrities. We do events, and then on the back side of that, we do media buying. We do social media management for regular companies. We do like AI automations and systems in their back end as well. Kind of like what I was telling you about earlier, getting that foundation built out. For instance, whether that be automations and DMs or email marketing, kind of like what you were saying with LinkedIn, all that stuff, right? So we have like the two sides of the business. So it really just depends, if you're more of like the front facing side, if you're like a talent or a brand that's going out there and looking to be, paired with a talent or influencer, or if you're just looking more so a small business on the back end that's just trying to gain their and get more revenue.
Got you. Okay. And for both sides, like, what do you feel like these people like are struggling with? What are their pain points, right? Their problems that they're coming to you with and that you're solving.
Yeah, I think there's usually like two or three ones that we see consistently, right? One of them is that they just don't have enough time. It's very time consuming, and it's almost like you need a whole other brain to really handle like the marketing and the marketing and the relations side, right? The business development side. Like you need like a whole other person for that. So that's definitely like number one of them is they don't have enough time and they don't know where to start. Number two is a lot of times they're they might be in tune with the current world, right? What's going on? What's trending now? What's not trending on whether it's music or a type of video, or man, there's some new AI technology that we use that can really help their business tenfold just by making it less complicated through AI, right? So I would say those are definitely the two main ones. A lot of the time, also people just don't know where to start and they just want a second opinion. I mean, me personally too, I love getting second opinions on most of my stuff. So a lot of times we'll just come in as like consulting and, when you come consult with us, you get a lot of it. We're also going to be very hands-on. We'll help you make all your graphics and stuff, shoot you in the right direction. But yeah, a lot of times people just want like that helping hand, if that makes sense. Because there's plenty of times where we go work with the client and they already have that in-house team, but we go through and we audit them. We audit that team, make sure the ads team are performing well, their website's looking good, and tell them where we can improve upon. So we kind of work with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like ultimately these artists, these athletes, right, these figures, these public figures, you're helping them just, get the most out of their brand, right? And a lot of the things they struggle with is just the time or the knowledge to do so, right?
Correct. Correct.
Awesome, man. Awesome. What happens if they ignore these problems, right? What happens if like, okay, I don't have enough time to do it and I'm just not going to work with anybody or I'm just going to work with my current team who's not, producing the best amount of results? Like what tends to happen in those scenarios?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just you become stagnant, right? It's like you start to just stay the same. Like you're not going to really grow. You might not decline, but you might not grow. And honestly, like in my opinion, staying stagnant like that and being comfortable is worse than anything. I think it's worse than declining because usually if you go down, that means you're going to still go back up like the chart, like the stock chart, right? If you're just going straight, that's just the way it is for a long time. So I think stagnant is the worst. You get comfortable and you start to, like I said, fall to tune what's going on in the world, and before you know it, you're looking at your Instagram like I don't know what's going on this app. There's new updates. Like it's just you know what I mean. People just get stagnant. You got to be able to stay on top of it. Always want to kind of like a business or just a person in general. You always want to have that not the courage but the drive to really get better and consistently learn about it, because that's the thing. It's like it's never ending. It's not like, oh, you learn it once and then that's it. It's like it's a never ending process.
So good. Yeah, I 100% agree. Stagnant is definitely worse than decline. It's the worst place that you can be, right?
Yeah.
Got to keep moving. Crawl if you need to. Cool,
Mm-hmm.
man. Can you tell me about some success stories, Shane? Of maybe some of your clients, maybe talk on like Atlanta, what you've been able to do for him, or maybe any of your other clients.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Atlanta for just, I've known Atlanta for 5 years now. I first started off as assistant way back in LA when he was just starting art, and yeah, for him mostly I've just been doing a lot of brand deals and events for him, right? So we've had events with, like I said, 4,000 people before. We've done events in Dubai, Japan, Paris, all over the U.S. We've done, we did an event Super Bowl last year. We've done F1 in Miami. We did an event with obviously like Art
Nice.
Basel, New York Fashion Week. So killer to him. When I first started with him, he had like 120,000 followers. Now he's over 1.2 mil. So he's been crushing
Sheesh.
it. Now we got Timepiece Trading. They're like the biggest jeweler watch dealer out in Miami. Everyone goes to them. So we run all their social media, all their YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We help with their website, consulting as well. They're crushing it. I got my boy Shaq Lawson. He's a football player. We just started up his clothing brand, so we're really gonna start pushing that for him. Tyreek Hill, we got him to like 80 million views on Snapchat in 28 days. I'd say that's probably
Wow.
the highest to in 1 month. Yeah, a lot goes
That's
on.
incredible.
Like I got a lot of them on the website too. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, that's the cool thing. It's all over. It's like we have like celebrities and personal brands we help with, but we also have the businesses. The dentist offices, the skincare brands that we help as well.
Nice. That's awesome, man. And what do you feel like let's say for maybe like Tyreek and Lando, what type of transformation ultimately were you able to provide, or did they experience as a result of working with you? I know you said like you were able to get them a bunch of followers, a bunch of views, but like what did that really do for them?
Yeah, I mean, Lana, it's been like a steady increase. Like we just met more people, kind of like what I said before about investing in yourself and going to meet people. Like we took that very serious. So we'd travel to a lot of places and meet a lot of crazy people. Like the people I've met in the last 2 years are crazy, and I mean, whether it's people that connect with me on LinkedIn now, or just that have the phone number, or like overseas or domestic, like definitely that's like the most important. Like I said, I mean, and that's just like I don't know. I'm trying to put it. I'm trying to think of this word. I can't quite think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's gonna come back to me, and I'm gonna cut you off and tell you.
Yeah, it sounds like just the network is expanding.
Yeah, but there's a certain word. Damn, I'm having a brain fart. I'll remember though. I'll tell you.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, think on it, sit on it. It'll come. That's dope, man. So how exactly are you producing these results for these clients? Like 80 mil views in 2 weeks, you said. It's crazy. Like what is the strategy behind what you're doing to really um, get these clients such great results?
Yeah, I mean it's a mix, right? It's definitely, we do use a lot of like AI software stuff on the back end in terms, like a lot of our creative stuff. So our graphics, videos, we do a lot because it tends to catch the eye a lot more right now. But ideally, like for instance, okay, Tyreek Hill, right? It's all about consistency. So just setting up that automation and the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 make easy to follow. That is just like consistent, right? Because Snapchat's a numbers game. You got to be posting like 50, 60 times a day, a lot to really get crazy views, which seems like a lot,
Yeah.
but it's not. They can be small little pictures. Think about it as like 50 story posts on Instagram. That's basically what you're doing. So it's not like a crazy amount, like it is, but it's also not like it's very doable. You just have to have the system and the people, in place. So once we got that, then I started having people from like Sony Music hit me up asking him to do sound promos. He was able to market his brand Soul Runner through there a lot,
Wow.
and he still does that now, right? Soul Runner, he has a store here in Aventura Mall, and so he markets his brand through there a lot and gets a lot of sales through that. Um,
Nice.
Lance, like I said, he worked with tons and tons of brands, everyone from BMW, Smart Water, Coachella, Dutch Masters. I mean, the list goes on. So it definitely just that's really what it provides is more opportunity. That's really what it brings, more opportunity.
Nice. Nice. So it sounds like is Snapchat like the main platform that you're using to push traffic to these clients,
I mean,
or
for
is
the
it
bigger
visible?
for bigger names, yeah. Not for smaller ones. If you're not like bigger on other platforms, it's kind of hard to be big on Snapchat. You know,
Yeah,
but for the bigger names, 100%. Yeah.
got you, got you. And how about like your local stores, your businesses, like the jewelry store? I'm assuming you're not using too much Snapchat to drive revenue to those stores, right?
Now those ones are mostly going to be just like Instagram, website, and a lot of, like I
Got you.
said, media buying. We crush it in media buying. You know, our main partner in the media buying space, they crush it too. Talking
Nice.
hundreds of millions of dollars with the ads. That they manage. So we have a lot of clients in the media buying too. And I think
That's
that's definitely
awesome.
something that businesses have to focus on because there's only so much you can do as organic, and only so much you can do, without that, without that boost. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's
a
how
thousand
you reach
percent.
the millions of people. Instagram is not going to reach all the millions of people. Even though your followers, if you got a million followers, you probably want to reach, and I don't know. Depends. I've seen people
Yeah.
reach 2% of their followers, up to 15, 20% of the followers. It depends, So, but even then, think about it. It's like if you can do media buying too and run ads on whether it's on your website or your Instagram, like that's how you really see results, And it's like a machine. Once it works, you put in $10 and it gives you 100, then you put in 100 and it gives you 1,000. That's how it works for the most part,
Yep.
It's like a machine.
Fire. I love that. Yeah, that's a gem that people sleep on is the media buying space and the ads. That's awesome, Shane. How can people work with you, bro? Where can they find you?
100%. You can find me on Instagram, still Shane. Look up known4.com, KNWM4.com. We're on all platforms as well, Instagram, LinkedIn. And if you see me around, I'm a big, tall guy. You can't miss me. So feel free to come say what's up as well if you're out in Miami.
Yes,
And,
sir.
yeah, like I said, I got shoot my email, business@known4.com. Yeah.
Awesome, Shane. Well, brother, I appreciate you for joining the show. It's been an honor having you.
Yes, sir. Bless. Thanks, Aiden. Take care.
And that is a wrap on this episode of The Social Room. I hope you found some great insights and maybe even some potential opportunities and ideas. Remember, the connections you make today could be the game changers of tomorrow. If you're interested in continuing the conversation or exploring potential partnerships, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Stay tuned until next time.